Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Empire Builder, AAU basketball, and business. Last Saturday, like every weekend, we are driving to a sporting event. So we were taking AJ to his AAU basketball tournament up in Massachusetts. I'm sure every family is doing this every day, every weekend. It just seems to be that this generation is about scheduled events and we're always in the car driving somewhere as a family. But what really surprised me last Saturday was AJ came to me from the back seat and he goes, "Daddy, can you teach me something about business?" We had about an hour ride to his first basketball game that day. My eyes lit up, okay? I was really excited for him to just ask me and say, "Let's talk about business." So I had to sit there and reflect on, okay, how do I simplify the business model into what is the most basic for an 11-year-old boy to understand so that I could keep him engaged and excited on it. And in a quick second, I looked at Terry in the car. Gianna was in the back. She had her headphones on, so she wasn't listening to the business part, but she always has some sense of what's going on. And I was like, I need to take advantage of this opportunity. So if you are listening to this and you know anyone that has a family and you're driving to sporting events, lacrosse, basketball, football, whatever it is, please share this out so they could hear this message, because we could utilize this time to help build our children's future in understanding the business model and whether they work for somewhere else in the future or they open their own business. So the three things that I came up with very quickly are things that I've been working on throughout my entire career and helping our clients with. So the first, and in no order of importance, was revenue. I explained to AJ what revenue really meant. It is any money collected by the company, whether it's by credit card, which is mostly by cash, by check from other vendors that you're dealing with, any money you take in that goes into your bank account. And this is obviously a huge part of running a business, right? Because if you don't have revenue, okay, top line revenue we're talking about, and it's not always increasing to keep up with the increased cost of doing business, your business will close. You will fail. And that's why most businesses fail in the first 3 years, okay? Not enough revenue coming in to pay for the expenses and things, okay? Tip number 2 I talked to him about was expenses. Expenses are always the biggest and longest item on our P&Ls, okay? No matter what program you use, there's different things that are considered expenses. So I talked to him about the basics of what a payroll is, okay? And how you have to pay employees, and you have taxes on that. You have insurance on that, whether it's workers' comp or liability insurance. You're gonna have rent for your business. You're gonna have loans for your business, right? And then the smaller costs, I talked to him about, because our kids tend to think Wi-Fi is just in the air, right? Which it is, but it's not free in the air for a business, right? You need to have great IT services from internet and your website and your social media presence to help grow your revenue. So, things from cleaning, and there's so many supplies, things that come up. So we talked about all of those things, And then I gave a special part to expenses for cost of goods sold, because depending on your business model, you're going to have certain things that you're purchasing and you're reselling to your clients, okay? So that's a special thing, because you do have to lay out the money for those cost of goods, but they are going to be sold, and that's not necessarily a definite. So you do have to lay out that money for a time that it's sitting there, whether it's on your shelf or on your wall or whatever it is, or in your warehouse. And you need to factor in that money is just sitting there not making you money. But cost of goods, you do lay it out. It is an expense, but there is a little asterisk next to it, because your plan is to resell it for a profit, okay? So we talked about 2 keys to business so far. And AJ was really getting at this point. He was actually really engaged. He was listening to it and stuff. And, I told him the biggest and most exciting part was number 3. 3 was the profit, okay? The profit is And I don't mean profit should be taken last. You know, I believe profit should be factored in and taken first. And we're going to talk about, I said to him, you have to put together a budget. And in your budget, I explained to him it's just a plan. It's like a lesson plan in school where you are going to budget in your profit so that it is coming in from day one. Because what happens in most businesses is, you know, we do the revenue, we do the expenses, and then we're like, whatever's left over is my profit. Well, that's not how it should be, because you need to pay yourself as the owner for all of the jobs you're doing when you own your business, right? And these are really important things. I explained to him, I said, the most important thing you're going into business for is the profit, okay? There are other benefits such as write-offs and stuff, but at the end of the day, if you are not opening your business to make a profit, you will close it, okay? So you need to build that in, that profit part of things. Now, depending on the industry, your profit could be 10%, it could be 30%, it could be 50%, okay? And we are talking about setting up a company, okay, with employees, with job descriptions and delegated tasks and protocols to help set you up for growth and scalability in the future, okay? Because that's why you're doing it, right? You're not doing it just to give yourself a job, because if you're doing it to give yourself a job, I have news for you. It's not worth it, okay? It is challenging. I can tell you in the first 3 years, it was very challenging for us, but every entrepreneur knows when they open a business, it is not going to be pixie dust and roses every single day from day one. Yes, it's exciting, okay? But there are struggles that you're going to have to go through. So I explained to him about that and the sacrifices you have to make to be successful in business. You know, from you're going to miss family events, from weddings and different things, and bachelor parties and bachelorette parties, and you're not going to take vacation because, you know, there's this misconception about vacation for an entrepreneur. It's like, oh, you can take vacation whenever you want. Well, no, you can't, because if you are bringing in revenue for your company, those are days that you are not earning, okay? And you are letting the rest of your team down. So it is very challenging, and you cannot just take vacation whenever you want, like a number of people think, okay? So again, this was a really exciting opportunity for us to talk, and I was really proud of AJ for asking this question, and Terry and I were talking to him about it. And then I talked to him just at the end about, you know, it's about putting together a little budget. You know, if you know how much you're generating per client, patient, or customer, you could take this 3 points, revenue, expenses, and profit, and you could put together a business plan. And business plans don't have to be long, drawn out things on computers with spreadsheets and stuff. Yes, banks want that. However, they can be done on a napkin. That's where the best ideas for the best companies and most successful companies in our history have come from. They've been ideas from brainstorming, and most of them have been done on a piece of paper, a napkin, during a meeting or something that you would not have expected, okay? So look at every meeting as an opportunity. Look at every day that you're just working on yourself as an opportunity to grow your business and maybe launch your business in the future, okay? So I really appreciate your time. Please share this out if you do have families that travel to sporting events every single weekend like we all do. And even if you don't, and in the future you plan on having a family, this is something that we could talk about and lead to future generations being more successful. Because right now, currently, 3 out of every 4 people are living paycheck to paycheck. And it's our responsibility to help the future generations prepare for being successful for what's to come. Thank you very much for your time. Go build your empire. Make it a great one. Thank you.